Hi everyone, welcome to Power Trans video lecture. Myself M. Krishna, working as Assistant Professor in EEE Department, St. Peter's Engineering College, Hyderabad. Here in this video, I am going to explain about parallel inverter. So this is parallel inverter. We are getting the single phase supply from the parallel inverter after converting the electrical energy from DC source. Here in this configuration, this is the configuration. This configuration involves one reactor or inductor, and there is one thyristor. Thyristor 2 means two thyristors are using in parallel, and one condition here is if thyristor T1 is on condition, thyristor 2 must be in off condition. If thyristor T2 is in on condition, thyristor T1 must be in off condition. And there is one commutator component, that is capacitor, placed in parallel here in this configuration, and there we are going to use one center tap transformer. Generally we are providing center tapping to the secondary winding of the transformer. Here we are going to use that secondary winding transformer as a primary winding here, and we are going to taking the tappings to connect the input supply to the transformer, and this is the secondary winding of the transformer having the N2 turns, and we are connecting one resistance to this secondary winding to get the output. We can call this as a resistive load, and the voltage available across the resistive load is called output voltage. And as we know that the positive side is connected to the thyristor T1, negative side means the second half of the primary winding of transformer is connected to the thyristor T2. Coming to its operation, the operation involves three modes. Okay, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. We'll see one by one. In mode 1 operation, after triggering pulse giving to the thyristor T1, it starts, and in this condition, as I said, T2 is in off condition. Then this is the supply available and it's passing through like this. This is the node point. As this T2 is in off condition, no current flows through like this, there is no chance, and entire current passing through the T2, it is on condition, and there is one more node here connecting the capacitor, and this entered capacitor, current trying to pass through capacitor also, but what happened here is there is no chance, there is no path to flow the current through the capacitor. Look at this. If current trying to pass this way, this is the point, next point, so this must be go this side to get the closed path like this. But what happened here, T2 is in off condition, that's why there is no current flowing through the capacitor. The whole current is passing through the off of the primary winding of the transformer like this, and having a return path to the source side, and the current passing through thyristor T1 is called IT1, and here is capacitor is going to be charged up to 2 Vs value because it is connected across the total primary winding of the transformer. That's why this is V1 value which is equal to Vs, this is another V1 value which is equal to Vs, means this is V1, this is V1, adding together and we'll get 2 Vs. This much amount is available across the capacitor in mode 1 operation, and the secondary winding of transformer getting the voltage as same as the V1 value. Only V1 is equal to Vs value which is available across the load terminals. And we can see that one is Vc is equal to 2 Vs, V0 is equal to Vs. Coming to waveforms, IG1 indicating the gate signal giving to the thyristor T1. IG2 indicates the gate signal giving to the thyristor T2. And as we discussed in the theory part, the capacitor stores the capacitor builds up the voltage across it around 2 Vs value, and because of thyristor T1 conducting, as we know, it becoming short circuit, the voltage across short circuit is 0. As it is conducting, it allows the current to flow, that is having IT1 value, and we are getting V0 value as Vs. And look at this, this is the current flowing through the capacitor during mode 1 operation at t is less than 0 condition. Then there is no return path for the capacitor current, thereby there is no current flowing through the capacitor here. And T2 is not at all triggered, that's why there is no current passing through the T2 till T1 is 0, means less than T0 condition. Then in mode 2 operation, what I am doing is I am going to on the T2, but one condition is that if you want to on the T2, T1 must be off. How it is going to be off? Without using external circuit for the parallel inverter. Very simple. Look at this voltage across the capacitor. This is a 2 Vs value, double the amount when compared to source voltage. Now what happened here? This is going to be placing vital role to make the thyristor T1 off. How? Look at this. The current direction, discharging path for the capacitor is like this. Means what? This current is entering like this into the node and it is trying to move in two directions. Suppose this current is moving to this direction, and the current which is delivering by the capacitor is more than the current passing through the thyristor, and automatically it is going to be encounter the current, anode current of the thyristor, and making its the value less than the holding current, and immediately the thyristor comes back to its forward blocking mode and it's going to be off. And one more analysis that we can say, this is plus, upper plate of the capacitor is positively charged, lower plate is negatively charged. Then we apply the same polarities across the thyristor T1 as also. Then look at this, this is plus is applying here, this is minus is applying here. Look at this, the voltages across the thyristor will become reverse biased manner. So this is also making the thyristor T1 off. And look at the same thing, this plus is applying to thyristor T2 here, this minus is applying to thyristor T2 here, thereby the voltage appeared across the thyristor T2 is looking like a positive forward biased condition. Means that not only the current flowing through the thyristor T1 due to the source, when we see the polarities of the capacitor and applying the same polarities across the thyristors, we can able to understand the turn off and turn on process of the thyristor connected in the parallel inverter. Once the thyristor T2 conducting, then the current is flowing like this and through T2 and entering into the second off part of the primary winding of the transformer and back to the source, and same the induced in the secondary winding and getting a Vs value across the resistance. And this mode of operation we can see in the waveforms at t is equal to 0 plus condition. Look at the waveforms. Now we are going to triggering the T2, thyristor T2, and now voltage plays vital role because the source is disconnected, because T1 is not conducting now, but T2 is conducting, and there existing two currents in this duration. One is a discharging current of capacitor and the other current is passing from supplied by the source. And look at the waveforms, it's going to be discharging like this, and as we know the thyristor T1 is off and it is going to be getting some reverse recovery time to get to go for a off condition. That's why we are getting the waveform like this. This portion is called reverse recovery portion, and the magnitude reverse value will be there. And there we can see the TC, circuit turn of time. This value is the circuit turn of time. And as we know that T1 is off, there is no current flowing through the T1, and we are getting the same output voltage, but is in reverse direction, because T2 is conducting. Means from T equal to 0 to T equal to 0 plus condition, T2 is on and T1 is off. When we see the current passing through the capacitor having the discharging mode, discharging current, that's why we are getting the current values like this. And we already made on the thyristor T2, that's why we are getting current through the this thyristor 1. And when we take the voltage across the thyristor T2 is same as the thyristor T1 when it is operated in mode 1 operation. And mode 2 operation involves the same thing, and continuing here. Look at this. After this point, our capacitor is going to be charged in reverse direction, because T2 is conducting and having the voltage to minus 2 Vs. And this plus 2 Vs is available across the thyristor T2 because it is in off condition, which we can see the waveforms like this. And still it is maintaining its 0 value because it is on off condition, and output is also maintaining its minus Vs value. And there we can see the capacitor current. Once it is discharged up to this point, T equal to 1 point, then there is no current flowing afterwards through the capacitor, and now it is a condition of storing the energy, and you can see the builds of the voltage across the capacitor in the positive, in the negative side. And as we said, there is a current continuation in the thyristor T2. Then in the mode 3 operation, again now we are going to making on the thyristor T1 and making of the thyristor T2, and the same analysis that we are using the here also. Look at the polarities across the capacitor. This is plus, this is minus. Apply the same polarities across T1 and T2. This seems to be forward biased, this seems to be reverse biased. With this T2 is going to be off and T1 is going to be on with respect to the polarities of the capacitor. When you look at these polarities, and now the current is flowing to the now the capacitor discharging current takes the reverse direction, flowing like this. Suppose this current is entering into this node and it is trying to move in this direction and move in this direction. If we are analyzing if the current is flowing through T2 direction, it is going to be encountered, compensate the current passing through thyristor T2 called anode current. If that discharging current of the capacitor able to compensate and reduce the anode current below the voltage currents, then the T2 is automatically going to be off. Then there is no required of extra circuit to make it the T2 off in the configuration. Like that the operation is going on. Again T2 comes into action and it allows the current to flow, and there exists two currents right now, and one current is due to the T1, other current is capacitor discharging current, and having the same output voltage, and we are getting the V1 is there, and we are also the same thing happening here, that we can see in the waveforms. Here we can see this capacitor voltage builds up the voltage in positive side up to 2 Vs, because it is connected across the total primary winding of the transformer. As we know, thyristor T1 is conducting right from this point, and thereby there is no voltage across the thyristor T2, becoming short circuit. As we know, it is conducting, allows the current to flow, and output voltage comes reverse because T1 is conducting. If T2 conducting, it is having the negative value, T1 conducts, the positive value. And look at the current values. Look at the current values. Now it is in mode 3 operation. Discharging current path is there to the downwards and having like this, and as soon as the T1 T2 is turned off due to the capacitor current and the polarity is across the capacitor, and there is no current flowing afterwards through the T2. So after that it is maintaining its value till the next operation, next mode of operation comes into action. That is what we call mode 1 operation. Thank you very much for watching this video.